explain to all of us the technique of 5 why,
Five why.
5 why at Toyota. So what does it mean?
It's like if something happens, you keep asking to yourself, why is that happening?
Right.
The first step, and then asking again, why is that step happening?
Right. And then for 5 times,
Yes.
and then you see exactly what happened.
Yes.
Right, 5 why. That's the techniques of Toyota, and we use the same techniques in the marketing world to understand our customers more. Right, so you can ask your customer why 5 times, then you get to see. For example, why do you buy cosmetic? I buy it very often. I like it. In general, people will say, I like it, right? Like, why do you like it? I buy it often. So that's not the way to answer the question why, but that happens with customer all the time. so why do you buy it very often? Because, and once I use it, people around me like it. So you see something there. So what next? What else? And I feel confident. Why confident? I don't know. It's confident. Why confident? Stop asking. It's confident. But after 5 times, then you get to see things here that the real reason might be about confidence. And we use the same technique with our customer all the time, the 5 why techniques. But in the marketing world, we call it laddering. It's just like ladder, right? And then we understand customers more. In the academic world, we recommend people to ask 5 why to more than 30 target customers in order to really understand the target customers. At least 30. At least 30. So it's a rule of thumb. So that's the practical side, because we talk about marketing is the thing that we try to understand customer more than they understand themselves. So I give you these techniques as the example as well. Right. Then we move on to the next bit, and the next bit is about the marketing program. So after strategy is the program. After the strategy is the program, marketing program. Marketing program. So when it comes to the marketing program matters, it's time to talk about the 4 Ps. It's time to talk about the 4 Ps. Product, price, place, and promotion. So the step is just like this: understanding needs and wants. So and then STP, and then 4 Ps. Right? For product, price, place, and promotion. And we mentioned about the fact that the 4 Ps might not be the way to go because it's very inside out. So to change it from P product, we change it to customer solutions. Some new products, some products might not solve any problems of the customer, so no need to sell them. So that's the point here. You need to understand that your product solves some problems of your customers. Your marketing offer solves some problems of your customer, and then it'll be better. So keep in mind, it's not product, it's not service, it's not actually marketing offer, it's customer solution. If it is customer solution, we try to solve customer problems, and the way of thinking can be totally different, right? So change from P product to customer solution. And how about price? Yeah, it can be that customer value. And we talked about it in terms of customer beside value. So we set up the price because it's our price, right? But on the customer viewpoint, they might see price as the cost. The cost that they need to pay in order to obtain the marketing offer. So we can even call it customer cost. Customer cost. The way of thinking of pricing and customer cost can be totally different. If we understand exactly this customer's cost, we try to come up with the price with big caution, because the customer will look at it as his cost, right? So the customer cost instead of pricing. Now here, it's not place, it's distribution. It's actually the P place before, but they changed it to distribution because they realized that in general, no place attached to many products these days. So it can be some online platform, no places at all. So it's distribution, but it's the D. But to make it very clear in terms of customer concept, we actually offer customer convenience. You can change it to convenience, you see. See, convenience is there. And the final one, P, promotion. Promotion means one-way communication, right? But if you would like to make it clear, so just change it to communication, normal communication. It's not actually promotion, it's communication. So the 4 C's instead of the 4 P's. Customer solution, customer's cost, convenience, and communication. And everything will be built around customers' needs. So we combine all these things together now. Throughout this semester, we're going to talk about all the C's, all the P's, right? So we talk about the details on the notion of products, right? Core product, actual product, augmented product, many terms that people use in the field of P-production and P-products, right? Packaging, brand, right? P-price, how to set up the price. So what are the factors that you need to consider in order to set up the price? What are the factors? And you come up with any factors that you need to consider in order to set up the price. Cost. First thing first, the cost. Anything else? Competitors' prices. Okay, so in competition plays a role. So what else? Right, customer value. Sometimes you can set the price according to customer value, right? Customer benefits. What else? Demand. So, and in general, from your economic class, the demand elasticity will be the factor, and we're going to talk about it. Demand elasticity, right? Inelastic or elastic. What else? Your segment, your target groups. What else? So JW Marriott and Marriott can be totally different. And JW Marriott and Ritz-Carlton under Marriott can be totally different, right? In terms of their prices. And many other factors, right? Political factor, economic factors, cultural factors, many other things. So what should we understand is that in this class, it's going to be about the foundations and essentials. You're going to learn something like this. So if you would like to come up with the price, what are the factors to consider? And we capture everything for the pricing, right? And then we move on to the P place, right, or convenience. So we're going to talk about many types of places, omni-channel, for example, right? And traditional channels. So what's the difference between convenience stores and hypermarket? Of course, you know exactly the size can be totally different. How about the differences between hypermarket and supercenter? You see, we need to learn something, right? So it's not just the fact that we need to understand the definition, but we got to see the options in the future if you would like to go for some business, right? So and these days something can be very blurry. So a retailer can sell using the wholesaling technique. Tesco Lotus, right? One section is Tesco Lotus. Tesco Lotus is of course retailing, right? Sell things to the final consumers. And many times, Tesco Lotus perform wholesaling. So we got the section in Tesco Lotus that's all about wholesaling. So retailing and wholesaling happen to be the same place. So how can we call it? And what happened there? Right? And for a convenience store, do we need to have some people in the convenience store, our employees? In the past, yes. These days, maybe not. Have you heard of Bingo Box of Alibaba in China? It's a convenience store without any employees there. So you go into it, buy things, and then pay using electronic devices, and then you can go out. Right? The same thing happens in Seattle in the US. So Amazon offered Amazon Go. Right? So no employees there in general. You walk around, grab and go. And that's Amazon Go. So we're going to talk about the trends in the retailing and wholesaling business as well, right? For your P-Place and the P-Promotion is going to be colorful. Okay? Just like what happened on our Wednesday's class. So communication, right? Advertising, PR, right? Marketing campaign, communication campaigns, all those things. So we're going to talk about the OP throughout the class, actually the second part of our class, the second part of our semester, right? So we're going to capture everything anyway. And then the fourth box is about building customer relationship. And for this part, what we need to talk about is the notion of CRM. So we try to manage our customer relationship management, and try to understand our customer perception of value, or customer perceived value. The point is, we need to satisfy our customers' needs. So how can we get satisfaction? How can we get customer satisfaction? So you need to compare two things: our performance and their expectation. Our performance and their expectation. If the performance is more than expectation, what happened? Let's start with, if the performance is lower than expectation, what happened?
Unsatisfied.
Dissatisfaction or dissatisfactory, right? So if the performance is here and the expectation is right there, so dissatisfactory. So if the performance is equal to expectation, what happened?
Satisfied.
Satisfactory. Okay. How about if the performance is more than the expectation of the customer? If the performance is here and the expectation just happen to be here,
Satisfied.
more than satisfaction, and we got the term. So the performance of the company is better than the expectation, right? So more than satisfaction, and that's what we call delight. Customer delight. And we got one brand using the term delight to be part of its slogan, and that's Canon. Canon delighting you always, right? More than expectation. More than the expectation. And the performance of Canon should be more than the expectation of the customer. So Canon delighting you always. So let's discuss. Delight's better than satisfying, of course. Delight is better than satisfactory, of course. And then it comes to the notion of the fact that we should not just satisfy our customer. We should actually delight our customer. And many people say, if we delight our customer, the next time the customer comes back, then the expectation will go up. And then we need to keep delighting our customer. By keep delighting our customer, the cost will go up and up and up as well. Should we delight our customer? It seems good at first glance. And then after a while, it's costly, right? And we are going to set the expectation higher and higher up. Should we delight our customer then? Yeah, one option is do it in a specific time and let the customer understand exactly that this is very special offer. Possible. What else? would answer no. You see this kind of thing in your exam actually. So it's not just very straightforward. Sometimes you need to know concrete answers, right? But you need to think a little bit, and then you might come up with many options. It's going to be just fine. So, do we need to delight customer, or do we go for just satisfying our customer? Should we delight our customer? Yes, but it's going to be like that. So set the expectation higher and higher, and the cost will go up and up. Then, if the executive says something like this to you, young executives, how can you respond?
I think sometimes the satisfaction is not, we put the standard higher and higher, but sometimes surprise or like random surprise.
So you try to keep it
Try to
random.
I mean the cost and the benefit to be balanced, but they are we can customers. You can stabilize to make
Right. You don't really have to do it all the time. You can do it as a surprise, right? In the smarter ways and balance, right? Do not go for delighting customer all the time. You can go for satisfying customer and delighting customer, right? So it is possible. So there are many ways to answer this question. But do we need to delight customer at least from time to time? And many companies say go for it all the time. Because if we cannot delight if you don't want to delight our customer, our competitor will do. So we're here with our competitors. So we need to keep delighting our customer in any way. If this expectation happen to be higher, keep delighting them. And then we need to manage the cost later. But we find a way to manage the cost is different. Delighting customer is delighting customer, except the fact that you got no competitor in the market. So no need to spend more, right? And we found some brands with our competitors in the market, they got no development in your product quality or anything else, right? So that's the thing. So satisfaction, dissatisfaction, and what? And delighting. And once we talk about customer perception of value or customer perceived value is important. Sometimes we use FedEx instead of just normal mailing express. So for the Thai Post, they actually offer what we call EMS. So I don't know what EMS stands for. Express Mailing Services. I think Express Mailing Service. So EMS. And to actually send your parcel from Thailand to the US, EMS costs you about 600 baht. But FedEx costs you 2,000 baht. Why do people choose FedEx over EMS? You can track the parcel anyway. And many times people use FedEx. Why? Speed. And the speed happen to be quite the same.
Brand.
Reliability, brand, right? Perception of using FedEx, and sometimes the things in your parcel happen to be very important. Sometimes you need to send out your packet to the university abroad, right? And that's very important. So you spend more, and you find with 2,000 baht, right? Actually, you can actually just spend 600 baht, but it's confidence, it's reliability. So it is something that we call emotion, and that's perception of value. And the thing that can capture is perception of value of customer can be brand, right? It's brand. So think about branded products. For example, a Mont Blanc pen. A normal pen and a Mont Blanc pen. And how much does it cost for each Mont Blanc pen as in general? Let's say 20,000. Let's say 20,000 for a Mont Blanc pen, right? And a normal pen, how much does it cost? 5 baht, right? big pen, so it's 5 baht, right? So one professor who loved Mont Blanc pen very much, I met him and I asked, Ajahn, how come you love Mont Blanc pen very much? It costs a lot, 20,000 baht. Ajahn egg is fine. You know, it has been with me for 20 years now. So it's durable. It's durable. It's 20 years, 20,000 baht, 20 years, fine. Right? And I said, Ajahn, a normal pen costs you 5 baht. Right? If we got 20,000 baht in a pocket, you can buy 4,000 normal pens. So it's not just 20 years of usage. You can use those 4,000 pens throughout your life and your next life and your next life, you see. So it's not the durability, it is something else. It's brand. And brand costs a lot. And that's customer perception of value. It's not actually a pen, it's the status. It's not actually a pen. Once we look at the pen, we say this is not a pen, it's a status, right? And that costs a lot. The customer perception of value more than just the product function itself. And we have already talked about customer satisfaction. So we compare two things, performance and expectation. Then you get to see the level of satisfaction, right? And then the last box. So it's time to capture customer value in return. After doing the 4 things, understanding customers' needs, coming up with strategy STP, the program for Ps or 4Cs, and then building up customer relationship, then it's time to capture customer value in return. Right? The last bit. What you need to understand is the fact that in general, people see each customer in terms of value, not just the one shot, but it's the lifetime value of customer, So anyone from Unilever at home in our class? Or P&G?
Today not here.
You know, but we got some.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Unilever? No. So think about Unilever. Any brands under Unilever that you can think of?
Magnum.
Sorry, Magnum. Yeah, Magnum. So it was, right? Ice cream. Magnum was, and it all was Panda Pop, Calippo, many brands under Walls, right? But in general, Walls ice cream. What else? If you would like to buy a spaghetti based food, jam based food, so the brand based food is under Unilever. Shampoo products, Sunsilk, what else? Tresemme, what else? Dove, what else? Clear. You see, 4 shampoo brands under Unilever. So why do they have to have 4 brands under Unilever? The shampoo products.
To satisfy various needs
Of
Of
segments. This is important. Some company actually launch a new brand because of a new product. That's not the case. The principle tells that you launch a product to serve new target. This is the same product, shampoo products, under Unilever, but for Tresemme, it's premium. For Sunsilk, it's mass premium, you see. It's different. For Clear, it's dandruff. For Tresemme, for what else? What's for Dove, it's different. Right? So, what's the differences? Any differences will be about different segments. So that's the principles of brands. So you get a new brand not because of you get a new product, because you would like to capture new markets. Even if it is the same product, you can actually have new brands. So that's the thing. What else? Under Unilever, Pond's, facial care. What else? Under Unilever, Lux, soap, Breeze, detergent, right? So there are many brands, many products under Unilever. So once they look at each customer got very high value to Unilever. And in Thailand, each customer got about 300,000 baht for Unilever. So you see the customer value now. Because it's not just one category, but many categories, many brands, and throughout their life. Not just one shot, right? So that's the reason why Unilever look at each customer and see 300,000 baht. And to focus on the notion of the importance of customer, and this is a good example. It's Stulettners, dairy product, a shopping store, just like Foodland, but Foodland for dairy products, like cheese, milk, eggs, all that things. And then they got two rules. They got a rock in front of the store, right? Crafted with two rules. The first rule number one, as you can see, the customer is always right. And they got rule number 2 over there as well. If the customer is ever wrong, reread rule number 1. So it tells us something about the importance of customer, right? And then we got to have the notion of customer equity as well. So in the accounting system, we cannot debate customer into the accounting system or accounting standard, right? But actually in the real world, in practice, customer got some value, and we can actually calculate customer equity. 10 years ago, actually 9 years ago, HSBC, the bank, decided not to go for B2C customer anymore in Thailand. So no retail banking for HSBC, right? But they got the customers with them, the clients with them. So what did they do? They sold the portfolio to, Bank of Ayutthaya. They sold all the portfolio to Bank of Ayutthaya. So what does it mean by portfolio? They sold all the clients to Bank of Ayutthaya. So customer themselves got value, right? Because you can sell customers. In the accounting system, we got no value of customer debited in the accounting system, but as you can see in practice, customer got some value. And it happened again with one more bank recently. It's Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered sold all the customers to, the retail customer to Tisco. And it happens again, so customer got some value. So you see, that's the reason why we said customer can be viewed as an equity of our company. So that's customer equity. The final bit of your slides. So customer is very important, and then if you got groups of customers, then we can actually try to understand them a little bit more. And this is the example of trying to understand customers more. Having two axes already over here. So profitability and loyalty. High profitability, low profitability, high loyalty, low loyalty. So long-term loyalty and short-term loyalty. And then you're going to have 4 quadrants. And you can group your customer into each quadrant and understand them more, right? High profit, long-term loyalty, true friends. So if you got to see someone who give you high benefits, high profits, and they happen to be with you for a long, long time, right? So that's what we call true friends. But sometimes we can see someone happen to be very good at profitability, but the customer love to go around, right? Sometimes they can be with us, sometimes they go around to our competitors. That's what we call butterflies. They're beautiful, but they love to fly, right? And then what else? Low profitability and short-term loyalty. Strangers, of course. And the final bit, low profitability, but always be with us, right? That's what we call Banacos. In Thai, the species that love to be with the boats. Without doing anything that actually harm the boat at all, right? That's what we call the one who love to be with us without giving any benefits, right? So instead of looking at this grid using the customer, sometimes you can actually put your friends like into the grid and you see, right? So people around you, put them into the grid and you see, so they can be different. But how about true friends? Once again, your family members can be your true friends, right? So support you all the time, so high benefits, high profit, and will be with, they have been with you and will be with you. So long-term loyalty, they are true friends. And we ignore true friends from time to time. Interestingly, right? We take things for granted from time to time. And then what else? So in your working group, your group project, you see someone who happens to be very good, right? You see, after this, someone in our class can be very, very good at doing group work, right? But he or she would love to be around. So in the entrepreneur class, this group, in the marketing class, this group, right? So that's what we call butterfly. Who else? Someone who never actually attend the meeting at all. Never ever attend the meeting, right? No opinions, no ideas, no benefits, right? And love to be around as well. That's stranger. Try to ignore strangers. And someone who got to be with you attend all the meeting with no benefits, no ideas, no thoughts, no anything, but will attend the meeting all the time, right? And be with your group in every subject, right? And the only benefits that you might get happen to be buying stuff, right? เข้าเล่ม another semester, right? And that's what we call เปลี่ยน NACO, right? So you can actually use this kind of grade with the people around and you treat people differently. In the marketing world, we said we treat people differently. We treat our true friends more. Right? And that's what we call customer relationship management. We need to manage the relationship with true friends, right? Very, very well. But for stranger, it's different.
What is the second important?
The second important is butterfly, and then stranger. NACO, and then stranger. So turn butterfly to true friends by having some kind of membership card. In terms of marketing, we got many ways to do it, and it's easier, right? But for NACOs, what you can do is to try to convince them to buy more. They will be with you anyway. So you give out discount, you give out some promotion, sales promotion. So do not just buy just one product. If you buy 2 products today, you get 50%, you get 25% discounts, for example, or 50% discount for the second product, right? So try to make them pay more because they will be with you anyway. So the way of tackling the problems will be different. So that's the thing that I'd like to talk about tonight. And for the last bit, let's stop. So everything that we talked about tonight is here. The system of marketing, the process of marketing, and 5 steps for marketing, right? Just to give you the summary as usual. So there are altogether 5 steps for marketing. And so this is chapter 1. First thing first, Marketing is not cheating. Advertising is just a part of marketing, and also the selling is just a part of marketing, right? But the most important stuff that we talk about tonight was the fact that there are 5 boxes: need, want, demand, then you need to come up with strategy, then try to come up with the program. Next is to build customer relationship. And finally, capture value from customer in return. For need, want, and demand, we talk about the differences between need, want, and demand. Which one is the most important one for our class? Needs. We need food, we want cake, so the need is important. And then we talk about many terms here. So we talk about the term marketing offer as well. We talk about the term market. And market is not a place, it's a group of customers who actually share similar needs. And we talk about the term marketing myopia, or short-sighted in marketing, focus on the want, not the need. Then we talk about strategy. STP plays a vital role, and we got something important over here to segment the market very effectively, so lifestyle will help. We also talk about the philosophy. From production concept to product concept, to selling concept, to marketing concept, and societal marketing concept. And that's like, it's very important. It's a checklist for you throughout your career. And for the program, we talk about 4 P's, of course, and we said it might not be good enough to capture the notion of outside in, not inside out. So we changed the notion of 4 P's to 4 C's. From product to customer's solution, from price to customer's cost, from place to convenience, and from promotion to communication. And for the relationship, we mentioned satisfaction and customer perception of value, perceived value. And in terms of satisfaction, you need to understand expectation versus performance. And the last box, capturing customer value in return. We talk about customer lifetime value. Talk about customer equity, and we talk about the grid as the example of grouping customers. think this piece of paper captures everything that we talked about tonight. And we discussed about customer delight. We discussed about the 5 why technique. So any questions, feedback, comments from you tonight anymore? Please.
I think in the real business field, like every marketers have this kind of philosophy and also the strategies as well, right? And then everyone, or like even to sell the same product, but they use different ways.
Right.
So like, how come they choose the different ways? Like even they are standing on the theme theory.
Right. So they might have different group of customers, and one customer can have many needs. So 2 parts. Sometimes the same product got different group of customers. The way of selling thing can be totally different. That's easy. But even in the same group of customer, each customer has different needs. So you need to take a look at the competitor as well. So that's what we mentioned, positioning. So look into your target group's mind and you see the position of your competitor, then it's time for you to do something different. If not, it's going to be overlapping and you will not exist in your customer's mind. Okay, so it's good though. So for the next bit, we're going to talk about, so the next chapter, the next week, we're going to talk about the environment. And once we talk about the environment, you see, not just customer. Customer is the most important part, but you have 11 more elements to look at in order to come up with a marketing campaign. Okay? So altogether, 12 elements to come up with a good campaign. Okay? And that's the reason why one product with different brands can be totally different. Please.
How do you calculate the
The customer lifetime value, right?
Yeah.
The customer lifetime value. So there are many ways to calculate customer lifetime value. So, and the one way that people love to do is to go for the average spend, and the lifespan, and the frequency, right? And then once you combine the average spend and frequency and lifespan of the customer, then you can see the customer lifetime value. And it's going to be easier in general to see customer lifetime value by the fact that if you would like to sell, just ask yourself, if you would like to sell out your customer to your competitor, how much is customer's cost? So that's the way to evaluate customer lifetime value as well. People have done it, right? And if you would love to know more about the way to calculate, so there are many papers on calculating customer lifetime value. So please do use Google Scholar. So it's not Google, just normal Google. You need to go for scholar.google.com, right? And then if you use the Google Scholar, you might not be able to access some papers. But right now you are a Chulalongkorn University students. You can access almost all the papers using Chulalongkorn University ID. So that's a good part of being a student here. Not all the university provide you with this because it's very costly. So I got to be with the committee, right, for buying this kind of thing. It costs a lot, right? The database for the papers, and you can access to all the Harvard Business School cases for free. So try to make the most out of it. Just download everything. Use it later. No. Try to make the most out of it. Any other questions? No. So that brings me to the end of our class tonight then. So have a good weekend. Thank you.